Hello and welcome to the studio where we paint away the stress of everyday life. Now I want to go through 5 things that is going to make your life so much easier during acrylic painting. So just stay with me. Number 1. Work smart, not hard. What do I mean by that? Plan. Preparation and planning is very important. If you're going to be studying off a YouTube video, watch it 2 to 3 times. Trust me, because you're going to miss things. It's very important that you watch it at least 2 to 3 times. Why do I say this? Because your attention amount is only around about 20 minutes. So if you've got a lesson that's over an hour or an hour, your attention span is going to be very, very limited. So what I suggest you do is either pause the video every 15 minutes or so, or watch it again. And watch it at least twice. Watch the videos at least twice. That's what I would suggest. That way you're not going to miss anything. Plan and preparation. Prepare your canvas correctly. Icards there will go through things like preparation of your canvas. Prepare your brushes ready. Make sure you've got the brushes that you need. Make sure you've got the water. I know this sounds really simple, but it is very important that you must work smart and not hard. Number 2. What I suggest you do is go out now and buy some of these things. These are gloves, latex gloves. And I use these quite extensively in the studio, and I've got a pair on now, as you can see. Now, the reason I use these is because acrylic paint can go under the nails. It can enter. Acrylic paint is non-toxic 99% of the time, but if you worry about having paint on your hands, especially if you're working with oils, latex gloves are very, very, very good. Now, the other good thing about these is that when you were painting with latex gloves on, whether they're blue or black or even white, because I've seen all different colours now, it actually enters your peripheral vision, so you can actually see where your hand is. So you're aware of where your hand is, so you're not going to be resting your hand on your artwork, getting it dirty, and then even if you did, it's not going to cause too much problem. You're not going to get grease spots there. And even if you want to touch the surface of your painting, then you're not going to get grease spots on there. So if you want to wear gloves, wear gloves. They're very good, they're cheap, they're inexpensive, and if you're going to start doing paint mixes and things like that and playing around with pigments, very, 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 very important. That's going to take me on to number 3. Number 3 is the thing that you're going to do if you haven't got any of these latex gloves, or you've just taken your latex gloves off, and a lot of these latex gloves are powdery, or even if you haven't got any, you might get some paint on you. At the end of the session, why don't you just go out and buy some inexpensive wipes like these? These are all-purpose wipes that I found very, very cheap. I had them for $1.99. You can use baby wipes, exactly the same thing. And all you need to do, self-explanatory really, is you take the cloth out like that and just rinse your hands down with this stuff and then throw it in the bin. Or in my case, on my bench. But what you might find is these things go a little bit dry sometimes. So just get a bit of water. This is some boiled water, H2O, and then just plonk a little bit of water in there. Re-moisture them. At the end of the day, that's all you need. If they've got a little bit dry, chuck a bit of water on them, seal them up, and they're ready for the next time. Number 4. As you can see, this is another important thing. Now, if you've got the space, then great. If you haven't got the space, you are very compact, like myself. The studio is not as big as you think. I've got all my palette and my easel there. I got all my brushes. I got all my paints. I got a set of drawers just down below me here with stuff in. I have made the most of my space. I've gone up. As you can see, I've got some old kitchen shelves here, which I've gone up, and I've used the space to its entirety. Very, very important that you use your space well. The other thing I've got, if you notice, Down the bottom of my easel, I've got a little bit of wire with a kitchen roll on there. So I'm using every bit of space I can possibly use. I've got a little tray under my easel, which I carry my pencils. I've got another a unit there, which I've got canvases and things put in. And as I said, down below, I got some kitchen units that I managed to put together. So my area is very, very, very compact. What that's doing is actually allowing me to use the space to its full potential, which is very important. And that's going to take me on to number 5. Number 5 is, you see these Olympians, don't you? They run around, they win golds and bronzes and silvers, they break world records. They didn't start out doing that. They worked and practiced and worked and trained, and they worked a serious amount of hours to get where they wanted to be. And that is the same thing with us as artists. Do not beat yourself up over something that you cannot do at this particular moment in time. I'm struggling with clouds. Keep practicing. So the more you practice, the better you're going to be. I know it's like an old-fashioned thing, you know, practice makes perfect. But it is very, very important that you keep practicing like that. Practice on bits of cardboard. Practice on, cut out an old cereal box. Paint on the back of that. Use the cheap paints you find in the pound shops or dollar stores. Whatever opportunity you've got to practice, keep practicing. And trust me, it pays dividends. I've been painting for over 35 years. And I get comments saying, "Oh, Clive, you make it look easy." It's only easy because I've worked really hard at it, and that's the same with the other artists. It's only easy because you work hard at it. You get muscle memory. You don't even think sometimes about what you're doing. Your hands and your brain automatically know what it's doing, and you're not really thinking about painting. You're thinking about more the subject and how you can get that depth and how you can get those clouds to look sunlit from the left-hand side and things like this. When you're practicing, it doesn't work like that. All I suggest you to do is get paint on the canvas as much as possible and just paint for fun. Don't worry about it being perfect. It's only going to be as perfect as it is at that particular time. And when you look back at your work over the years, you're going to say, wow, haven't I improved? And that is my 5 things that is going to help you so much more in the studio than just watching endless YouTube videos, reading endless books and not attempting it. That's the key is. Attempt it. If you want to paint, paint. Don't worry about what it looks like. If you want to paint, paint. Start to paint. Have fun. That's what we did when we were children. We didn't think about it. We just did it. So don't hold yourself back. And it's a fantastic healing thing as well. It'll help your mind relax. It helps your body relax. It helps with pain. And I'll be covering that on a different subject. So thank you very much, and I will see you next time. Don't forget, I upload every Monday at 7:30 Greenwich Mean Time, and there's always lessons there where we paint away the stress of everyday life in Wales. Bye.